Okay, so these are the questions that I'll be going through. If let's say the questions are not on the yellow post-it that I'm going to write on, means those are the questions that you have to actually do it on your own and get it back to me in the next lesson. So the questions that I'll be going through will be question 5, 9, 11, 12, 13, 15, and 16. All right, so let's start with question number 5. So for question number 5, you need to understand that there are actually two tabs that is going on. So tab A, if you notice, is the one that is contributing. So tab A contributes to the tank for the first 20 minutes. Okay, so tab A, the job is to add water. Now, after that, I have tab B. Tab B only comes at the 10th minute to the 20th minute. And the job of tab B is to drain. Drain means minus. Okay, means take out the water. So you need to also take note of the starting, because they say that the tank was originally filled with water. So you can see the tank has a starting amount of 18 liters. And because all thanks to A contributes, right? A adds on until at the end of the day, A becomes 58 liters. So from here, I can actually find out how much A contribute. Okay, contribute, because from 0 to 10 is only purely tab A. So I know that tab A, okay, contribute in 10 minutes, tab A contribute how much? So this one you definitely can find. So what happens is that now this is the tricky part, because if you can see by right, A contribute more, the graph should go more, right? Because A contribute means A add. So we need to go and find out in this 10 minutes A contribute how much. So we know in the next 10 minutes how much A contribute also, so that we can know the final answer of the tab. Okay, so if here we know how much it contribute, we can add on from this 58 to find out the final. So this is the final that you need to go and find, the final amount. Okay, once we have the final amount, now they say tab B drain. So this is where tab B contributes to drain, right? So at the end of the day, this is the amount of water. So you need to be very careful. This means the amount of water at the end of the day. So the amount of water at the end of the day is because of tab A that contribute, okay, which is this amount that we're going to find out, minus away how much B contribute. Okay, so this is from B. And then it gives you at the end of the day, which is 38. So from there, you should be able to find out how much water did B drain. So this is the amount of water. All right, so maybe you can pause the video, take some time to digest. If you don't understand, you can replay it. But if you understand, do your corrections, pause, do your corrections, and then continue. All right, so I believe you have done your corrections for number 5. So right now, we'll move on to number 9. Okay, number 9, this question I will not go through. Why I say that? Because this is actually the questions that we have gone through. I think it's in question 85, okay? So what I want you to do is to cover up and redo again and make sure you understand this question for number 9. All right, so next we'll move on to number 11. Okay, so now number 11. So let's understand what is this question talking about. So this question has two identical rectangles, ABCD and EFGH. So I have ABCD right here. Okay, and then another rectangle which is EFGH. E, F, G, H right here. Okay, so they say that these two rectangles are overlapping, and then they tell me that, hey, EBCH is a square, means this person is a square. So if it's a square, I know that all sides are the same. Okay, I think cannot see, so I'm going to use it in black. Okay, so these are all sides are the same. Now they tell me that the rectangle is 280. So let's focus on the green one first. The green one, I take it out. Okay, the green one, which is A, B, C, D, and they say that the area is 280. All right. Now they tell me that the 40% of the figure, the whole figure is being shaded. So 40% of the whole figure is being shaded. Means this zone right here, this orange zone, this square, the blue color square, and this orange zone, and this, not this one. Okay, 1, 2, 3. These three parts, 1, 2, 3, is actually 40% of the figure. Means I know that the rest will be 60%, right? Because it say 40% shaded. So that means that I know that the unshaded will be 60%. So from here, I can form the link already because they tell me that the unshaded is 360. So what I'm going to write is, I need to write down 60% of the figure. Okay, you must write down like that so your teacher know what you're talking about. 60% of the figure is 360 cm squared. Okay, so from here, what do I want to find? So from here, I can actually find two things. Number one, I can find 40% of the figure because 40% of the figure is actually the shaded. And next, I also can find out 100% of the figure. And 100% of the figure is everything. Meaning, 100% of the figure is the shaded and the unshaded, okay? Which means that it's made up of a few components, which is this one, the one in black, and also the one in white. Okay, so don't forget, we also have a clue of rectangle 280. So put a pause first to start working your answers before we move on. Okay guys, I think question number 11 has some missing information. So let me get back to you again. All right, so we'll move on to the next question, which is question number 12. Okay, so for question number 12, right now, we need to dissect the question. So they say that we have in July, okay? So let's look. In July, what happens? So in July, the number of people that go to the zoo was 152,880 in July. So if it's 152,880 in July, they say there is a 16% decrease from the number in June. Okay, 16% decrease from the number in June. It means that June means June is 100%. So if June is 100%, minus away the 16%, this means that from here, we know that the July, it is 84%, which we can form the link. So once we form the link, which is 84% is 152,880, we'll be able to find out the amount that is in June. So pause the video, take a while to find out how much is it in June. So if you get, the answer should be 182,000. And I believe this one, most of you all will have gotten it right for June. Pretty straightforward. So next up, B. Now they say, what is the percentage increase? Okay, now they want to find the percentage increase in a number of people comparing from August and June. Okay, so let's look at the information in August. They say that the people who visited in August is 20% than the number in July. So that means that in August, okay, it's a 20% from July. Means that July is the new 100% right now. And we need to find out how much is this amount in August. Okay, so once you find out this amount, when they say percentage increase, you need to be very careful. Percentage increase has a formula. So the formula to find percentage increase is always the new minus away the old value over the old value times by 100%. So for this case, the new value is actually the amount that you're going to find out in August. Okay, because the July is the new 100%. That means that August right now is 120%. So with that, you can form the link to find your August. And that will give you your new value. But because they're comparing with June, that means that I need to minus from the June, which is this amount, that is my O, over my O value, which is my original value, that is the one that is also in June. So with that, when you put in the numbers, you should be able to get your answer for 12B. So you can put a pause on this video and do your 12B. All right, so I hope that you are done with that. Now we're moving on to 13. So for 13, they will not really test you anymore in the syllabus because this is the height. Okay, so you can skip question number 13B. So next up, we'll move on. It's number 15. Okay, circles. So now when it comes to circles, we need to do a recap for circles. Circles, you need to take note that we always have a center. Okay, anything from the center to the circumference is always called your radius. All right, so when I look at this, okay, I am not able to find the radius yet, but I have to look at the question because the question tells me that the diameter of each circular paper is 12 cm. So it means that, okay, from here, I can find the diameter and immediately I can find the radius, which is 6 cm. Okay, so now they say that I have all these papers that is cut out into quadrants to decorate and there is no gap. All right, so now they say how many pieces of circular paper did I use to decorate the bulletin board? So from here, can you see that there's 24 cm, 324 cm. So I can actually technically know how many circles, or rather 3/4 circles, fill up the whole length. So from the length, I believe most of y'all get the 1 mark from here. So what we did is I will take 324 divide by 12 because the diameter, can you see? This is the center, center, center. So all this is, the diameter is 12, 12, 12, 12, and so on so forth. Here also the same thing, this is the center. So here will be 12, 12, 12, and so on so forth. Okay, so I will divide by 12. That means that how much will I get? Next, over here also, the breadth, you will take 288 divided by 12, and how much will you get? So pause the video to do it, and then after that, we play again. Okay, so right now, if I know that I take these two numbers, okay, I times them together, I will get 648. Now, this 648 is actually full circle. Okay, that means it's a full circle. Means the whole board is actually filled up with 648 full circles, which is made up of 4 quadrants. But you need to be very careful with the question because they say that I cut all the circle into quadrant. Means they're telling you that, hey, I'm cutting all these full circle into 4. Okay, let me draw properly. Into 4 parts. And then I use these 4 parts, I piece them together. Meaning here, can you see that this is made out of 1, 2, 3? Here's 1, 2, 3. Here's 1, 2, 3. So if I find out 648 full circles, that means that I know that in total I have 648 of 4 quadrants. But the question is, if you look at the picture, okay, is it made up of 4 quadrants? If you look carefully, this is actually made up of 3 quadrants. So what you have to do is you have to take 648, you need to divide by 4, okay, so you know that how many quadrants are there, and then you multiply by 3 because there are 3 quadrants right here. Okay, because why do I divide by 4? I divide by 4 because I need to find out actually there are how many 1/4 quadrants. Because right now here, the thing is, if let's say the question is fully all covered with full circles, can you see if it's a nice full circle? If it's all nice full circle, your answer is correct. Your answer will be 648. Okay, but the problem right now is that the full circle is not a full circle. It's actually made up of only 3 quadrants. So therefore, we need to divide by 4 and multiply by 3, and that's how we know the number of quadrants you have. Okay? Okay, I hope you have done with question number 15. Now we'll move on to question number 16. So now, number 16, they say that there are 200 more apples than pears in the fruit store. Now they say after 1/4 of the apples. Okay, so you need to understand this one. This one is actually a forming equation. If I'm not wrong, I couldn't remember. Is it either forming equation part 4, 5, 6, one of it? Yeah, so you have to recap on your forming equation. So from here, this 1/4 tells me a lot of information. This 1/4 tells me that the total for the apples, this is apples, okay? For the apples, the total is actually 4 units and 1 unit is being sold. So if I know 1 unit is being sold, that means that I know that left will be 3 units. Now we'll move on to the pear. So the pear, also same thing, very important information. I know that the total will be 7. If you write units, you are wrong because 7 units of pear is not the same as 7 units of apples. So I will write down as 7 parts. And I know that the sold, it is 2 parts. That means that the left, it is 5 parts. So from here, I can actually form the link already because the one in blue, they say 200 more apples than pears. So this is actually talking about the total. Total. So from here, I can form my equation. That means that I know that the apples is more. So 7p, no, apples is more. So 4u minus 7p will give me 200. So next is the information on the left. They say that there are 170 more apples left than pear. So with that, you can form your second equation. And from there, you're able to solve number 16. Okay, so that's it.